I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, and the incredible amount of games.
So I can't help that you're stupid.
Why am I toxic? What? More toxic.
Cat, you need to get out now. That place is toxic. You know, and FYI, but this is the big thing. I was older than, well, okay. I had already mentioned on this show, every Christmas Eve I would get together with my family and I had three cousins, all girls. One was much younger than me by 5 years. So, you know, I was like 10, she was like 5 years old. Then one of them was about the same age as me, and one of them was a little bit older, like 2 years older than me. And my mom was like, do not tell them because they probably don't know that Santa's not real, especially your much younger cousin has no clue. She's way too young to be spoiled on that. And that would be a real shame if they were to find that out. Okay? So, yeah, so I was wizened up to it, and I kind of had the responsibility of not telling my cousins, especially remember I told you my great uncle would dress up as Santa and hand out presents. So here it is, and of course my cousin or cousins still think that he's Santa handing out presents on Christmas Eve when I know there's no Santa, you see? So, pretty stupid. Pretty stupid for them to do that on a Home Shopping Network channel or QVC or whatever it was. And from what I'm to understand, they got into a lot of trouble. Not to say it was legal trouble, but like a lot of people complained and said, why the fuck did you do that? Like, you really ruined Christmas for everybody. Oh my god. Alright, Dark Side Krill, thanks for another cheer. I've already answered this a million times. I'm not going to bother talking to you anymore. CM Fool to me $2 says we can do a full run of the Quiet Man. Absolutely. In fact, right now, we're going to end Ask the King early, okay? And we're going to jump over, and we're actually going to just start playing my second run of the Quiet Man immediately. All right? Because, you know, actually, I'm kidding. I'm a Grinch, and I'm messing with you. We're not going to do that ever. We're never playing Quiet Man ever again. So there you go. Thank you, though, for the tip, CM Fool. And happy holidays to you. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Kubi Contract just subscribed for 8 months. Thank you, Kubi Contract, for 8 months resub. Now we move on to the Twitter questions, my friends. Twitter. The first tweet came from Derek. And he says, if you could be a character in a holiday movie, who would you be and why? Oh, my God. Man, who would you want to be if you were in a holiday movie? Would you want to be like the Grinch and have the story of redemption, where you have a change of heart and you go from being the villain to the hero by the end of the movie, right? or Ebenezer Scrooge, the guy who was so about himself and personal business profits and shit that he had an epiphany, and after being visited by 3 ghosts, he becomes the big forthcoming good person of the town, and he becomes this philanthropist character after a twitch or a switch. I don't. Who would you want to be? I don't know. Maybe you want to be the Bumble, because Bumbles bounce. Maybe you just want to bounce on your ass all around, right? Oh man. I'll tell you who I don't want to be, Rudolph. I got enough shit in my life being ridiculed. I don't need to have another reason, a big bright red nose, to be ridiculed. That one I don't want to be at all. You can leave that one out, okay? Oh, man. Oh, let me really think about this hard.
Wake up, Pickle. Look.
Think about this very, very, very... What do you guys think? Die Hard 2 is not an answer. That's a movie. So I want to be Die Hard 2. What? Arnold Schwarzenegger, the hero dad from Jingle All the Way. That's a good one. Oh, Turbo Man. I go to get Turbo Man for Jamie. Come on. Put that cookie down.
Digging in deep all the time. You will say now, what does your wife think about that?
Anyway. And I always look forward to going home and watching the late streams. It's always fun watching. Keep up the streams and ignore the lame-ass detractors. Maybe you're saying you're on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. I think that's what he meant to say, and he said it wrong. Anyway, thank you, Turtle Dude, for the cheer, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you. Skiddies, resubscribe for 2 months in a row, 29 total.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, and the incredible amount of games, new games.
Turtle Dude just said, yes, my bad, I live in New York. I meant to say East Coast. I grew up in the Seattle area, so forgive me, I'm drunk and messed up. You're drunk at 5:20 in the afternoon? Well, good for you, bro. It sounds like your day's like my day yesterday. All right. The next question is from Yak Almighty. And says the following. Would you consider doing themed tips goals? For example, when you're playing Yakuza 7, if you hit the tips goal, you'll put on a red suit jacket so you look like Kasuga. Here's the thing. That's a neat idea, but that would only work for a couple situations. Number one, either a game that's a recurring game that you know I'm going to do on a weekly basis. Like, let's say, Throwback Street Fighter. If I hit the tips goal, I put on a Ryu headband. I tie it on, right? I wear a Ryu headband for the rest of the stream or something stupid like that, right? That would work because Street Fighter is something I regularly play, so that running gimmick would work. My concern would be, like, let's say, for example, you say Yakuza. Well, how long will I play Yakuza, and how much will it make sense for me to buy a whole jacket only to put it on every once in a while when I hit it? What if I play Yakuza 7, and, I mean, the playthrough goes for 2-3 months, so maybe I play like 20-30 streams of it, but we only hit the tips goal 5 times. Now, I bought a jacket just for that, and I only wore it 5 times. You see my point? Like, at least with these vests, they get a lot of traction, right? These vests have gotten a ton of traction this year. You see them being worn a bunch of times. So I can't help that you're stupid and you don't understand intelligent, like, conversation and intelligent commentary on something and criticism. So sorry that you're stupid. People have hype for it and they want, like, for example, God of War. What could I do for God of War for a tips goal? What do you guys think? Like, if I raise a tips goal, what could I do special for God of War that would be specific to that playthrough that would be different than me putting on a vest? What do you guys think? Go shirtless, put on face paint, shave my head. You see what I mean? No, these are not. If it's a silly idea that makes sense, and it's not something that's a big investment, and it's not a fucking body transformation, yeah, if something silly, like I said, put on a headband, I look like Ryu now when I'm playing Street Fighter. Okay, but not something that's, do you know what I mean? We'd have to come up with silly stuff to do for certain playthroughs. If you guys have ideas for upcoming games and playthroughs coming out in 2021, and you want to, we could, you know, shoot the shit about those ideas, think about it, I'd be willing to consider that kind of a thing. Instead of just generic vest, game-specific rewards. But let's figure it out, and it has to be viable. It can't be, go buy a $100 suit jacket, or paint your fucking face live on stream. Like, what are you talking about? No, we're not doing that. No, I'm not getting dick piercings or reflecting, guys. See what I mean? Because we all...
It's pretty fucked up when you think about it, right? Okay.
Radio Butternub is here, and he resubscribed for 9 months, so you're going to get a KFC console? No, I'm not, because it's not even a console, but thank you very much. It's good to see you, Radio Butternub, and thank you for the ongoing support. I appreciate that. Keep in mind, guys, I've said this before, I'll say it again, this is my only stream of the day. Once we finish with questions, and I field your questions here live on the stream, that's it. I'm not here tonight, and I'm not here tomorrow. So if you want to support, please support during this stream. I would appreciate it. The other thing that's very alarming is that I need that money. I really do. I need that money. Okay. Shadow the Hedgehog did another 500-bit cheer. He said, I found an article. Sega prepares console comeback, and they're about to get wrecked. There may be a new console coming from Sega of all companies. Can it compete against the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5? Considering we have zero information about it, there is absolutely no way that we can even speculate. Thank you for the cheer. If I had information about it, maybe I'd talk about it, but we have none, right? Okay. Fred Herbert asks, what plans do you have for your channel in 2021, and do you have any goals? All right. First of all, my goal is to obviously maintain the level of success I had this year. Do I think the vest streak is going to happen again? No. But it's really neat that now, no matter what game I play, that people will come out and hang out with me and support the streams. I like that. I mean, let's face it. I'm playing Yakuza as a main playthrough, and it's working. That's crazy. Previously, I wouldn't be able to play an RPG like that and have it be a mainstream. People would complain. It's what people are coming. They're supporting. This is outstanding that I'm able to do that. Now, what I would definitely want to do in 2021 is improve my streams. All right? What I want to do is get rid of this chair, okay, that I've used now for about 3 months. It's old and creaky. It's not even like sitting right anymore. The cushion is flat already. It's not great for an angle for recording or anything. I want to get a better chair. I want to get a better laptop. I can barely even use my laptop anymore. Even refreshing it and everything, it barely works. So I would say first 2 equipment upgrades for 2021 when I could do them is a new chair and a new laptop. All right. Once those are done, we can look more long-term towards things like, can we add a green screen? Can I get a better PC to handle that? You know what I mean? Like upgrading the capture setup. Because right now, I can only capture at 1080p. So maybe I could improve the capture setup. If I have a new PC or whatever, it could be better. I don't know. Right now, I'm very limited with what I can do. I'm not kidding. I'm using 6-year-old capture device, you know. And this is my job, and I'm using a 6-year-old capture device. So those are things I would say. Number one's got to be the chair and the laptop. Those are essentials to even do daily work. Then it would be, can I upgrade my rest of my setup over the course of the year? We'll see what happens. Okay, but I hope I can. We'll have to find out. And then go from there. You know, again, the one thing that I absolutely want to say is I just hope that 2021 could possibly be the first year for like the past 5-6 years where there's no panic. There's no scariness about income and about things that are going to, oh my God, now something happened and I can't stream and I can't put videos on YouTube and I got screwed over. Every year there's some kind of crazy panic and shit. And now it's looking like this is setting up that this next year, maybe a fresh year where everything is good. I hope. Okay? I hope that it doesn't go back to how it was where it was panic all the time and oh my God, emergency stream and this and that. You know, it sucks to have to do that shit. I hate it. I hate having a life like that. I don't want my life to be like that.
Phil's a
so
faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar.
Okay. Would I rather have no arms or no legs? Fuck. Why you gotta ask a question like that? I mean, obviously either one would be bad. If you have no legs, you gotta live in a wheelchair. You probably have a real struggle moving around mobility-wise. But work-wise, I would probably still be able to do everything I do, right? Like, I'd still be able to stream, play games. It would just be mobility-wise. If I don't have arms, I mean, that would make things incredibly challenging, I would feel. You know what I mean? I guess it would probably be tougher not having arms than legs. That's terrible. That's such a terrible thing. So, Jethro's Main Cheer says, you would choose to have no legs, you barely move. I just said no legs. What are you talking about? Headband Julian asked, will I play Danganronpa V3? I would likely say yes, eventually I will. It just hasn't happened over the last couple of years. If you remember when Danganronpa V3 first came out as a new release, I had just played 1 and 2 in the collection over the last year. So there was no way I was going to play 3 like that. Then, I've had many Viewers' Choice events since then, and it has been nominated, but it's never been voted in. So, we'll see what happens in 2021. Maybe that'll be the year, maybe it won't be, right? Yes, 50-bit Derek, I am officially British now that I've had a mince pie and I loved it. That's correct. He says, well, I try spotted dick. See, I don't know what the spotted dick is. To my knowledge, it's some kind of like a bread with raisins or something, but I don't actually know exactly what it is. And Hans Biscuit Mode says, well, I'll be playing King of Fighters 15 next year. I didn't even know it's coming out next year. Will I ever phase out Classic Street Fighter for another fighting game? Possibly if I want to, but right now Classic Street Fighter is the thing I love going back to and you guys love watching, so I'm not going to change it. But I like an iPad for Christmas. No, I had an iPad for many years there, almost a decade ago. And, I mean, I used it every once in a while. Mostly, back then I was playing, oh God, what was it called? WWE Immortals. It was a game where it was characters like they were almost like Mortal Kombat. It was like tap to attack or swipe to attack. And I played that for like a year. And then I got tired of it. I played, what was the other one? I played a rhythm game, a Final Fantasy rhythm game I played on it. Like Theatrhythm or something shit like that.
Now we're all waiting. You're right, we're all waiting. We all just wait.
The way the law is worded, okay, it's not specific. So it's possible that the intention of the law really is to go after illegal restreaming businesses. But it's not specific enough to say that it says that that no one would ever go after a content creator like a streamer or a YouTuber. And that's, I think, where the panic is coming from. It's too broadly worded. Actually, when all the panic of this started, I actually saw one of the actual groups that is lobbying to get this law passed posted up on Twitter specifically stating this is not to go after streamers and they would never go after a streamer at all, that this is basically to shut down companies, illegal companies stealing content, okay? But again, when you put something into law, this is the problem. It doesn't matter what someone said on the internet. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's going to translate into reality.
You know,
talking
what I mean?
so much. So
blah 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 blah.
Panic is coming.
Blah blah
from.
blah 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 blah. Shut up. Blah 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 blah. Here he comes. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. What are you talking about? Shut up.
Right?
Nobody cares.
So, okay. I buy Pepsi Max, resubscribe for 34 months, and says, Merry Christmas. I hope you can have a fantastic day. From Joe. Thank you very much. What a nice sentiment. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Doc Duffel did another $1. Says, have you watched Shatsman and Hole Punch with Cat? Shatsman? Shatsman. I'm pretty sure it was not called Shatsman. I think you're off by a few letters, but no. Listen, I haven't watched or been associated with anything with John in many years, and I won't be doing that in the future. There's no relationship to anything I do, and no desire to reminisce about the past, so... You know, the one exception would be when you guys nominate stuff for my retrospective events. Maybe I'll give it a look, and that's about it. Shatsman. Okay. All right, guys, so we're winding down here. Last segment here. If anyone else has any major question, anything holiday thing you want to ask, anything else, last chance to contribute, because, again, I won't be here tonight or
I need
tomorrow.
that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
Yeah, BattleDuck 9000 just said something very interesting, and I have to agree with it, all right? So let's read this here, if I can see it, because sadly, it scrolled off the screen and my laptop doesn't really work, so I don't know if I'm even going to be able to... I'm going to have to just paraphrase it. But essentially what BattleDuck is saying is, isn't it interesting how most or a lot of iconic duos, especially on the internet, never seem to last? That they always seem to be a disagreement. There always seems to be like a breakup between them. And maybe it just is that it leaves fans to reminisce about the good old days, and maybe that's just a necessary thing that happens because people are different, and maybe sometimes opposites attract for a temporary time, but then it doesn't work out long term. I can definitely understand what you're saying. In the case of, me and John, I don't necessarily think we were opposites at all. I think we did have a lot of things we were different in regards to. But we also had a lot of similarities. We were both lovers of Street Fighter. We were both lovers of pro wrestling. We had a lot of common things that drew us together as people. And then when we were actually making content on those subjects, it clicked. You know what I mean? Our commentary style, doing that improv commentary, going back and forth off of each other during a game playthrough, it clicked very well. All right? Obviously, our understanding of our relationship was different. Okay? I thought John was perfectly happy being someone coming and hanging out with me and having fun once a week playing games, getting paid for. For me, when we play games, that wasn't work. And I'm serious about this too. I never felt that when I sat down with John Rambo to do a gameplay session that we were doing work. That was fun to me. That was seriously like fun to me. Wow, we're having a good time. This is a time when I don't have to be doing these playthroughs by myself, which felt like work. Instead, it was like I'm having fun with a friend playing a game, and somehow we're recording it and making money doing it. All right? Even when I had to set up and we did the wrestling commentary show and everything, that's how I always felt. Like, it was fun to me. That was a fun thing to do with a friend. And if ever John ever said, I don't want to do it ever again, I would be okay with it. But like, it sucks because it was super fun. There was a following doing it. But if he ever didn't want to do it ever again, he could have just said so, and that would have been it. You know what I mean? Let's recap this situation. I did nothing wrong, okay? And not to say, by the way, that doing those long gameplay sessions wasn't feeling like work. By the time that you're done with a 10 to 12 hour session and you're hashing it out to try to really finish a game, it could take a lot out of you, okay? But it was always fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm serious about this. The time that I spent with Rambo was kind of the time where I got a relief from doing the content solo. All right. John apparently didn't see it that way. He must have seen it like it was work, the driving to and from my place. You know what I mean? Like, apparently he wasn't enjoying it nearly as much as I was, but he never expressed himself like that. When he came over those days, we would talk behind the scenes about personal stuff for hours sometimes. Sometimes we'd have a 2-3 hour conversation before we ever created a piece of content for the internet. So why he felt that, like, I wasn't being a good friend to him or whatever, it really blew my mind, you know, when he made that video and said stuff like that. And I'm good at lying. Was like, yeah, wow, completely blindsided, because again, not anything he ever talked to me about. Ultimately, I feel what it is there were just differences between us. I don't feel that John wanted to be a internet persona. He wanted to put out fun content for the internet, and he enjoyed having a following. He didn't want to have his whole life thrown out there on the fucking internet. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to have private stuff. He wanted to have stuff that was no one's business and not exposed to the internet. And I think what ended up happening there was when I moved across the country and we had said we were going to continue to make content together. And he didn't want to do it or just kept making excuses to not do it. It kind of started to expose stuff in his life, that reasons why. And he didn't like that. He didn't like being hounded. Why are you not in Phil's content? Why are you not doing Smart Guys? Why are you not doing game? He didn't like that. So after a while being hounded for like a year and a half, he snapped and said, fuck this, I'm just going to do this and get out of Phil's life by making this video. You know what I mean? I want to be completely disassociated from Phil. This is the way to do it. Because the thing is, you say, oh, people grow apart. People who do these duos or whatever, they grow apart, they have disagreements. There was none. We didn't grow apart. There was no disagreement. It was, we were completely friendly up to the last moment. I moved. We still maintained contact. Then over time, he didn't want to do content with me like he said he was going to do. He made excuses and lied apparently about it. And then he stopped responding to my messages. So it was like, it was all on his end. It wasn't ever me choosing to not be his friend. He actively destroyed the friendship from his end because apparently he didn't want to live with the repercussions of being my friend and all that took. Meaning being harassed online by people constantly about why he wasn't in my content. I can understand that. I can totally understand that. I just wish he had been transparent with me about it. He was never transparent with me about it. And that's what really irks me about the whole situation. Making me look like the villain when I didn't even know what was going on. Like, that guy, he's such a two-faced fat piece of shit. He pisses me off. Like, I seriously hate people like that are so fucking dishonest and two-faced and will do anything to make a fucking nickel. He's disgusting in my opinion. I mean, he's a disgusting human anyway. He sucks on fucking cucumbers that look like dicks. And he's fucking shirtless and shit. He's gross. He's a fucking nasty dude. I want nothing to fucking do with him. There you go. That's an honest answer, huh? All right, your next question. Okay. But anyway, it's funny that you talk about this because there are other duos that fall, like, for example, wasn't just recently, like in the last year or 2 years, there was that duo that was always together and then they just recently broke. Was it not? Who was it? Who was it that broke up? I can't remember. You guys had told me about it. I don't even know who they were, but you guys had talked about it and told me about it. Yeah, Super Best Friends Play. That was it. Super Best Friends Play. They apparently, behind the scenes, ended up hating each other and lied. They were just only doing it for the money, and no one really knew that their relationship had fallen apart and they were only doing it for the money. Smosh. I don't even know what Smosh is. Apparently them too. People are saying Smosh. The one to me that comes to mind, Screw Attack. When I used to watch Screw Attack, which doesn't exist at all anymore, but when I used to watch Screw Attack at the height of their popularity, all right, it was Handsome Tom and Stuttering Craig, and then all the people that came around them. Well, the two of them had a giant disagreement about the future of the company, but it just so happens that apparently Stuttering Craig technically owned the company, so Tom left, did his own thing, and kind of faded him to obscurity, while Stuttering Craig continued to make content for Screw Attack and grew the company for several years after that. That was huge because they were on camera. They were perfect duo. They played off each other. Like, that was one of the duos that kind of inspired me to say, oh, I could do fun cooperative content, you know, and it would be really cool. And they fell apart too. Like, so many people, I feel, people can say that they fell apart over the year. Oh, is that true? AVGN and Mike, is that true that Mike Matei also had a falling out with AVGN and now they're breaking up? Yeah. It's just very odd, right? It's just very odd to me that this was the case. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Sage Fox Socks. John never asked me to pay gas money. I would pay him. The way it worked, John and I, we had a relationship where he would come and he would do content with me every week. And actually, we would wait a week or two, and we would see the results of the videos we put out, and I would give him half of the profit. That's how it worked. It's like we would wait maybe like for the end of the month, and I would look at all the cumulative views we got and the money that was made on those videos. At the end of the month, he gets half, I get half. That's how it worked. It was even Steven fair. The only time that we had to change doing that, Machinima was falling apart at the seams and wouldn't even provide data anymore on how videos were performing. I couldn't, on YouTube, find out how my videos were performing. So instead what we did is we agreed on a flat rate that I would pay him for every visit, and he would get paid that, and he was very happy with that. So, they lied in their video. If they distinctly said that John asked for gas money, yeah, he never asked me for gas money. That's not true at all. It's not true at all. It was based always. It was half of what the profit was on the videos after about a month, or later on it was a flat rate that I would pay him because we couldn't figure out how much the videos made money-wise anymore. And actually, a lot of the times, I was paying John more than what the videos were making during that last 1 to 2 years because remember, my YouTube channel popularity was dipping. So a lot of the co-op stuff that we did wasn't making many views anymore, so I was paying him more than the videos were making, but it was worth it because, number one, I knew I was helping a friend out because he needed the money, and number two, because it was fun to have him around for that content, you know? Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and talk about this. It's stupid. It has nothing to do with holidays. You guys got me all derailed now. Fruits07 Chitty said, Merry Christmas to you and Kat. Merry Christmas to you, Fruits. Thank you very much. Hot Stuff Chris, resubscribed for 49 months. Thank you very much, Hot Stuff Chris. I appreciate the ongoing support of 49 months. Outstanding amount of support. Thank you so much. Crash Bandicoot Cheer, what irks you is not paying Howard's friends for their hard work and saying they never asked for money. I'm sorry, Phil, but don't lie. That's 100% true. They never asked for money. They specifically told me up front, I said, do we want to have an agreement on how much you'll get paid? And they said, we don't want money. We want you to give exposure to our projects and our channels so that we can grow naturally from this. And once we're done with your project, we can get popularity and make money for ourselves. That's exactly the truth. 100%. We had a whole meeting at a Starbucks where we all sat at a round table and talked out these details. That's what happened. So if they said otherwise, they're liars. They're absolute fucking liars. You know, what I was told when they didn't want to do it anymore, okay? I was told that they got too personally busy in their personal lives to do it anymore. They were too busy. They didn't care about it anymore. They wanted to move on. They had looked at their own channels, saw that they weren't getting any kind of growth or popularity as a result of working on Project 7, and therefore that was it. I would have paid them. I had no problem paying them. I liked doing the series. They didn't want money. If they said otherwise, they lied. I don't care what else they fucking said. They're liars. But again, this is over 5 years ago. I don't know why people love bringing up the past because there's nothing going on in the present that's dramatic. Right now, things are good, right? Things are good. Everything's going fine. There's no crazy drama. Let's bring up stuff from 5 years ago, right? What is wrong with people? Like, why would you even ask me a stupid question like that? And by the way, I've said this before. All you're doing is having me repeat myself. I've talked about this before. This is not new information at all. This is all common info that's been talked about before.
Yep, I'm toxic.
Hold on 1 second because I got a tip, and of course I have to verify if it's real, and I hate having to do this live, but I have to. I know I missed a ton of questions. She-Wolf is asking the dumbest question ever. You ready? Would you rather have finger-length legs or leg-length fingers? Ooh. Spartan King asking for a shout out is not a valid question for a Q&A show, just so you know. It's very disrespectful. How dare you? Gabby Soft Pillow tipped me $1 says, will you be joining us drinking? What do you mean? I still have eggnog. I only had 1 cup of eggnog last night. Maybe I'll have some eggnog tonight. We'll see.
Cat, you need to get out now. That place is toxic.
Oh my! Now people are just getting really stupid with some of their questions, which always happens when I go long on a show like this. They start asking some of the dumbest shit, and I'm just not gonna waste time with it. So I'll give it like one more minute here. We'll see if there's any more legit questions I can answer, any more contributions to shout out. If not, I guess we're gonna adjourn for the holiday. Okay, everyone. And again, thank you. Shout out to the Hedgehog for the many cheers today. Thank you to everyone who subbed. Thank you to Shadow of the Beast for the top tip of the day. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. People are now asking questions I've already answered on the show, which is why I'm ignoring them. Super Flash as well as She-Wolf. I already answered those questions on this show. Infinite Sphere says, do I know anyone who celebrates Christmas for religious reasons? Not anymore. I used to. When I was growing up in Connecticut, I knew several families who were religious. I mean, my family was religious pretty heavily religious at one point, going to church every week and everything. But I basically kind of grew out of it, and now I don't know anyone like that.
Shut up. No one cares about you, boy.
So. Melody Zelda says, can I have your empty PS5 box? Well, the PS5 boxes are selling for about $80 to $100 on eBay. So, yeah, we can talk. We can negotiate price if you email me. darksidephil@hotmail.com. I'm kidding, by the way. No, I'm not going to sell my fucking PS5 box. So stupid. It's not happening. Oh, my God. Okay.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, and the incredible amount of games. New games.
I can't help that you're stupid.
Why am I toxic? What? More toxic.
Cat, you need to get out now. That place is toxic.